And welcome in, Fraser, Michigan. Big Boy Arena for a big-time matchup between two of the original 6 teams. The Detroit Red Wings and the Boston Bruins. Their alumni squads are set to meet here, and it's great to have you with us here on the Prep and on the Prep YouTube channel. Exciting day, a star-studded day with all these great players. Welcome up to the broadcast booth, Ben Holden alongside Sean Belesian. Meltdown, the one and only Meltdown from WRIF. Big hockey guy like you and I are. Sean will be with us ringside. What's your level of excitement here to watch these stars of the past play?
This is awesome. You know, for people our age, okay?
Yep.
We grew up watching a lot of alumni games. There used to be a series on CBC, if you remember, every Saturday afternoon. And I think these guys remember it too, and they're like, we want some of that. So hopefully this is the start of something special. It would be great to see this become a big thing. And, you know, John Pastor and his foundation, they're doing so many wonderful things. They also brought an alumni cup into the picture. So we're gonna see an alumni cup pretty soon. But no doubt about it, Ben, an exciting day. So many fantastic hockey players here.
The Stanley Cup's in the building. As you mentioned, the cup for the alumni game is here, and all this going to help raise money. Children's Miracle Network, Beaumont Hospital, so many great charities. Nick Monticelli from Local 4 here in Detroit, WDIV, is going to join us here in a moment to talk more about that. So that's really the big picture, and money being raised to help those great charities and to help so many children that need the help and the families that need the help too. So, and then you throw in all the great hockey. I mean, we saw a lot of players coming in. Mickey Redmond, I think he's going to go bucket list. No helmet today for him. He looks great. Dino Cicerelli here. Darren McCarty's here. Darren Helm, he just retired. Danny DeKaiser recently retired for the Red Wings side. And Brian Smolinski, certainly one of the headliners on the Bruins side, Sean.
Well, you know what's interesting? If you were to make a list of greatest villains in NHL history, Kenny the Rat Linsman would end up on that list, and he's out here today as well. He's having some fun with it. He's had a big smile on his face. All these guys have. Look, I think the one thing that you have to say about the Detroit Red Wings alumni and the Boston Bruins alumni is they do so much good in the community. They play a lot of these alumni games against various teams in of course, their respective areas. It's not too often they get a chance to go up against pros. So while they're going to have fun out there, make no mistake about it, they're going to have fun out there, you know that these competitive juices are going to start flying, fellas.
They never leave these players.
No.
I mean, Red Berenson is playing for the Red Wings. Red is 83 years young. We both know him. Everyone knows Red in the hockey circle. He looks like he's still in primetime position and shape to play. Nick Monticelli, we mentioned Nick's here with us now. And Nick, first of all, I know everyone involved really appreciates everything you and all the gang and Jason Colthorpe and everybody did at WDIV the last few days. What's your excitement to be here today?
Well, first of all, I think this is probably one of the most exciting alumni games that I'm ever going to see with a matchup. You guys talked about Brian Smolinski, Drew Miller, Darren McCarty being on the ice. But, you know, this came to us about a week ago, to the day, honestly, when John and Joe and Dante came in studio and kind of started talking about what this game was going to become. And within 30 seconds, I think all of us in the newsroom in the building started realizing this could be the beginning of something really special because, as you mentioned, guys like this on the ice in our generations really enjoy a game like this when the competition is way up here. Alumni games, unfortunately, you're kind of used to seeing some older guys skating around at maybe 0.25% of what they used to. Some of these guys are going to put it all out on the ice. And then you match the charities that we're here for. Children's Miracle Network, the Epilepsy Foundation, the G.H. Pastor Foundation. This is a game that means more than just a game. You're raising money for kids, and you can't go wrong when you're talking about kids. Yeah, no question about it. And talk a little bit about your background in the sport. Tell us about your love for the sport of hockey. I played growing up. I remember I grew up in Sterling Heights, so we had one cul-de-sac that we would block off the traffic. I don't care if you were trying to get home or not. The hockey net's going to be there. We're going to play street hockey all day long. Suffered an injury early on. Wasn't able to do a whole lot outside of that. I'm jealous, to be honest with you. I wish I could have gone further. But, you know, again, going to talk about the kids, when you match what we've got going on here, the Stanley Cup, Karen Newman, I mean, every layer that you keep adding to this, and I think what the best part is that the guys over at GH Pastor are already talking about this being the first one. If this is the first time we're going to do this, how much better is it going to be in year 2, 3, and year 10?
Nick,
Yeah.
you know what's amazing? You would be stunned how many former players that I heard from that hit me up going, how can I be a part of this? Because the word starts to spread in the hockey community. And to your point, I have a feeling we're going to see a few more of these games. I really do.
And what's really great, too, is, we had John and the guys on Saturday morning. Sunday morning on our show, Mickey Redmond came and sat down with us and talked about it as well. And he talked about, and it was a great conversation, saying that in the hockey world, this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Hockey people take care of hockey people and take care of their communities. So when the word started spreading, when Drew Miller started making phone calls, when Mickey Redmond starts making phone calls, hey, we got this going on, the roster starts building really fast. In fact, I think they had to cut a couple of guys. I think Dandino wanted to play, and they said, sorry, man, the roster's
too many.
Full. When's the last time you saw an alumni roster so full you couldn't bring more guys on?
And this, let's be honest, you look at these two teams on paper, and the Red Wings, they're pretty stacked.
I know. I think Smoke is about the best the Bruins are going to have tonight, right?
Hey, I'm going to be happy to see a guy. Rick Middleton was dynamic. Now Rick Middleton's up there in age, but allegedly this is going to be his swan song. I heard a little rumor this is going to be his swan song. But, again, harkening back to the days of our youth, to see some of these guys, to see a Rick Middleton, that's the coolest thing on earth. And they're having a blast. If we panned out right now, just behind us, to see these guys with those big beaming smiles, you can't put a price tag on that.
That's great stuff. Nick, thanks for all you guys did to help promote the entire event.
Happy to.
You're a huge hockey guy. It's great to have you here and meet you and join us. Thanks so much. Go enjoy the game.
Go do it.
All right. Nick Monticelli from Local 4 WDIV joining us here to talk further and more in-depth about what's behind this, what goes into this, and all about what it stands for with all the charities. And there are a handful of them, Sean, that are benefiting from these players getting together. The fans that have turned out here at Big Boy Arena. About 1,500 tickets were sold prior to the start of the game, and they've made their way inside of the building. The Bruins, 100-year celebration. They're wearing some throwback sweaters as the Red Wing lineup continues to be announced. And, let's just start at the top, Sean. Darian Hatcher, Yuri Fisher, Jakob Kindl, Rick Zombo, Red Berenson, Drew Miller, Mickey Redmond, Dino Cicerelli, Mike Knuble, Darren McCarty, John O'Grady. Reed Larson still playing. I wonder if he can still bring it from the line at 100 miles an hour. Eddie Mio's on the squad. Darren Helm, Todd Bertuzzi, Larry Murphy, and Danny DeKeyser, to mention a few.
I got a chance to talk to Reed Larson the other night on the radio, and that was the first thing that I said to him. I said, to bring up the late, great Danny Gallivan, can you still let that cannonading blast go? And he said, well, I haven't done it in a while, but we'll wait and see. The Bruins, of course, a late addition, a guy that I'm familiar with from his days in the juniors with the Plymouth Whalers, and then, of course, a career that saw him win a Stanley Cup with Carolina. Chad LaRose, a local guy, Fraser kid, in the lineup for the Bruins today. So, you know what? We're going to be treated to a darn good game. A lot of these guys as well, let's be honest, their career isn't that far in the rearview mirror, too. So they're going to bring it today and certainly put on a show for the fans.
Danny DeKeyser, I believe, my math is correct in my research, the youngest that will be on the ice. Danny is 33 years young. Of course, just retired a couple of years ago, had some back issues. Darren Helm, he's got to be in the best shape, although Red Berenson may argue that. As good a shape as Red has been in at 83, but Helm just retired officially on July the 5th of this year. So if you need a guy to go double shift, it's going to be Darren Helm, I would think,
and
right?
And he can still fly. Anybody that watched the National Hockey League will tell you that Helmer can still bring it, to be sure.
Last one introduced, the aforementioned Danny DeKeyser, the former Western Michigan Bronco. And we're going to step aside, take a quick timeout here as we inch closer to puck drop between the Detroit Red Wings alumni and the Boston Bruins alumni. It's coming up live right after this short timeout here from Fraser in Big Boy Arena on the Prep. And we welcome you back to Big Boy Arena here in Fraser, Michigan. Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins alumni squads set to go. But Sean, as we've talked about since we came on the air, everything about this event is huge. And when you have a hockey game in Detroit, you bring on Karen Newman, who will sing our national anthem here today. Time to play hockey, Sean Belegian, Karen Newman, both anthems here today. They're doing it right, top shelf, top notch. Just about set to get underway here. And you and Nick talked about a little bit too when we had Nick with us. Boston, they already want to return in this series. Toronto's inquired, so as you said, to your point, the interest is growing. You and I have been around sports forever. These athletes, the competitive juices never stop flowing, do they?
Never stops flowing, no doubt. I know Rangers certainly are interested in something in the near future. And I'll tell you what, take a look at those old school official outfits. Is that beautiful? They got some legends out here as well from the National Hockey League and some guys that have called games. I could see an old friend of mine, an OHL official out there as well, and Greg Haynes. But, I mean, you got Don Kaharski, Don Van Massenhoven. I mean, those are legendary names, Ben. That's what we grew up with. So, and the Boston Bruins, I'll tell you what, absolute class dealing with their alumni group. Absolute class. It starts with, as far as I'm concerned, Nifty himself, Rick Middleton, who I had a long conversation with him. What an absolute gentleman. And listen, I got to tell you something. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I hated the Bruins growing up.
Right.
And now I don't hate them as much. I wish that didn't happen, but just class
There he
gentlemen.
is.
There he is, absolutely. A couple of class gentlemen right there.
The living legend, Red Berenson, 83 years young, is Red. Is he chirping Middleton already? You think the chirping is already
going?
I
bet they are. Yeah, I bet there's a little bit of that.
Knowing Red,
on.
I would not doubt it.
You know, it's kind of funny because if you've seen some of these alumni games that have happened, you know, with some of the outdoor games, it usually follows the same script. The first couple minutes, they're having fun.
Right.
Make no mistake about it. But to your point, when those juices start flowing, oh, baby, does it get going? And that's the beautiful thing about a game like today. And we're in for a treat. We're so glad you could join us wherever you are for this one. This is a really special thing. And, Ben, and you've done a great job of mentioning this a few times, and let me echo it. Let's not forget, this is for a myriad of charities as well, and that's the best part. This is a win-win across the board.
You're right, and those charities are the Children's Miracle Network, Beaumont Hospital, Epilepsy of Kentucky, the Judson Center for Autism, which is based here in Metro Detroit, Livonia Learning and Enrichment Center, that's in Novi and Northville, and you see some of those young kids that are out there getting recognized and honored and getting a fist pump from these players. They don't know who a lot of these players are, but I'll tell you what a thrill it's got to be for them just to see these hockey players, these former NHL players, come up in their uniforms and give them a little fist bump, and that lifts your heart, lifts your spirit, lifts your soul. So that is great stuff. And what do you think that you think the pace in this thing's going to be high? Like you said, a couple minutes in, we start seeing Darren Helm flying around the rink or what?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I'm looking at something. Bert looks like he can still go. Bertuzzi looks like, I mean, he looks like a beast out there. I've seen a lot of these games, have the pleasure and privilege, if you will, of calling some of these games the last couple of years. Make no mistake about it, these guys can go. And you know, even the guys that are a little longer in the tooth, wait till you see Mickey Redmond's shot. For people that haven't seen it, my man can still bring it. So, this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
I want to see Reed Larson let one go. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
A lot of people want to duck, just in case that happens, to be sure.
I'm sure you know this, but those out watching may not. One of the things that gave Reed Larson the incredible strength that he had was in the offseason, he'd go back to Minneapolis. He water skied constantly, had forearms like Popeye on him. Talked to a former teammate of his, Pat Micheletti, played with him in Minnesota a little bit, and he gave me that little nugget. I did not know that about Reed Larson, but loved watching him play back in the day.
The former Golden Gopher, and, you know, he told me, I talked to him just a couple days ago, and Ben, he said, I haven't played that much. You know, he's been playing kind of a ball hockey type of thing, but he was all excited to get out here and play. And there's an old friend, Darren McCarty.
Getting ready to go. McCarty will start the game on left wing here. Looks like Red Berenson will also start for the Detroit side.
Great to see Yuri Fisher out there. Boy, can he
is.
motor too. You know, it's amazing. Larry Murphy out there. Of course, Murph's still very active in the community, not only on television, but I see Murph around many charitable events.
Yuri Fisher's now 43 years young. Larry Murphy, one of the best defensemen scoring-wise in the history of the game, and that is such a great sight to see Vladimir Konstantinov in the building here today, and just so great every time you get to see Vladdy wherever it is, whether it's in person, on television, and he is here watching his former team, the Detroit Red Wings. So you mentioned Kenny Linsman. He's lined up on left wing for Boston against Dino Ciccarelli. I can see that getting spicy.
Could you imagine the conversations between those two? Oh, my. Because Dino can bring it.
And he's still in really good shape.
Yeah, he is.
They play it ahead up the right wing for him. It's deflected away and came free to the aforementioned Ken Linsman. Gets it free. Red Wing player blew a tire. That was McCarty right in close. And Mullins right there to bang home an easy first goal of the game there, right between the wickets, 1-0 Boston.
Well, a little tic-tac-toe there, and Ben, that's a goal that I think you and I could score.
Yes.
All Joe Mullen had to do was tap that baby in, but it starts with blowing the tire in the mid-slot area. Take a look there. That opens things up. Nifty little pass there from Big Al Peterson. I think forever there was a generation of fans that thought his first name was Big. You know, it just seemed like whenever anybody talked about Al Peterson, it was Big Al Peterson. And he is a big one. Take a look at that big drink of water on that Bruin blue line as he gives it away.
Yep, he's massive. So we're playing 17-minute periods here. And in the first 25 seconds of the game, Boston gets that goal from Joe Mullen. Larry Murphy trying to keep one in at the point. Works it in down deep. McCarty now. Darren's north of 50 now.
Yeah, he is. Just turned not that long ago. I believe he's 51 now, as a matter of fact.
Yes, he is.
From Tomato Town.
Yes, sir. Leamington, 51 indeed. Yep. Here's Boston with it, taking a look now. Turning it over off the stick of McCarty. He's out there still with Red Berenson and Dino Cicerelli. Now Boston at the line, 3-on-2. They try to drop one back. It's poked away. Good stick there from Yuri Fisher. Now the youngster to Kaiser plays it back to Fisher. Watch by Sweeney. Name synonymous with Boston hockey. Darian Hatcher. I know our guy Meltdown's played a few goes with Darian Hatcher. I believe you have too, right, over the years?
Absolutely. He is a big man. Both he and his brother, the Hatcher brothers, of course, from not too far away from this rink, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Sterling Heights, where they're both from. Boston will play it back here, nearing 2 minutes gone in the opening period. Sweeney plays it across to that right circle, off a skate into the corner. He'll let it go up the wall. Mike Knuble, over 1,000 games in his NHL career, getting a little tug there. They get it free now. DeKaiser's got it. Left it back. Kindle's got a good look here. Over 4 to Kaiser. Danny will sling one through the blue paint. Knuble with it. Came free in front. Good quick goal stick there. Kindle will track it.
Well, I saw Jakob Kindle playing Kitchener in the OHL. He was dynamic. And I tell you what, the way he moves out here right now, looks like he can still give her a go.
36 years young is Kindle. Here's Bertuzzi. You're right about Bertuzzi, man. He still looks like he's in game shape.
He is incredibly lean, and when you get up on him, don't let the looks deceive you. That is a big, big man.
Here's Hodge Jr. coming in, and Kenny Hodge ripping one home. Talked to Ken before the game, and he's on the score sheet here, and Boston leads it 2-0, 3 minutes in.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, the one thing about these Bruins is they're really good at distributing the puck. You see both of these goals, very unselfish plays there. I think Nienhuis could have taken it in himself, but he gave it up, and just a snipe there by Hodge.
Product of Windsor, Ontario. Third-round pick of the Minnesota North Stars he was back in '84. Played his college hockey at Boston College, like Joe Mullen did. The 2 goal scorers so far for Boston. Hodge has it, leaves it at the line. Another chance there. Nienhuis had to hop over his stick.
I want to point something out. Number 1 is Rajon Lemelin, who in the National Hockey League was a pretty renowned goaltender. The Bruins tell me, here's Mickey.
Mickey comes in, looks, and he's stopped there. Another chance, and it's right between his legs, and they score as Bertuzzi tapped it home, and the Wings are on the board. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested. We're going to have to take a look at this.
We need video review?
Yeah, we're going to get a little video review. No, the officials point at Mickey, but I'm with you. I thought Bert came in and kind of picked up that garbage. There's Mickey, one stop, then comes in, watch the puck lay there. Yeah, I think that's Bert that maybe came in and got that. We'll wait for the official announcement, but I want to point out Rajon Lemelin, the Bruin alumni, said he might be one of their best snipers.
Interesting. Well, he knows a thing or two about facing them, but the other way around. Here comes Bertuzzi, steps on the gas a little bit, looks for a little help, peels back now for Helm. LaRose couldn't gather it in. Cicerelli trying to play it to Bertuzzi. Talked about Chad LaRose. Here he comes. Good stick back there from the cagey veteran Larry Murphy. Pace seems to be picking up here a little bit the last 90 seconds or so, Sean. To your point earlier, couple minutes in, guys get settled in, and then it just turns into a hockey game, right?
Yeah, look at Bert. Boy, he's just got a step on everybody right now, and he's giving it up to a sniper right there, 600 goal scorer, Dino Ciccarelli.
Undrafted, too. What a story Dino is, and he looks great, still in prime shape, back in behind the Boston net. Detroit's on it. McCarty one-timer would have been wide, but it's gloved and held by the keeper for the Bruins, John Damrath. Steve Shields, the other keeper, we'll see, I'm sure. Eddie Mio got the nod from Dave Lewis starting. He's got the old school mask. You got to love that from Mio.
That's what we grew up with. You know, I mean, when we were first becoming hockey fans, you saw keepers wearing that all over the league.
Yep. And Eddie's a throwback in every sense. Handled by Boston here. Mullen gets it free. McCarty, good read there. He's got Ciccarelli going to the net. Centers it right to him in front, and Dino couldn't put that one away. Good quick look from McCarty. Steals that one, left it on to Darian Hatcher. Down on the goal line, he plays it, looking backdoor to McCarty. And it came free and onto the stick of Andrew Alberts, the former BC Eagle. The Kaiser has it now.
Well, you notice the pace now, right?
Yep.
It's you know, I think after the Bruins got a couple, the Wings said, okay, we're not letting it happen like this in our own barn.
Nearly another one to tie it up for Detroit, but just missing on that attempt was Brent Fedek. Another blast from the past from the mid-'80s with the Red Wings. Some good years in Philadelphia. Alberts now has a little bit of room, gives it off. Guy LaRose gets Mio down. He's flopping around. Back up top now, rim of the circle. Alberts walks it down. On to David Shaw. Was a tough customer in his NHL days. Boston with a little zone time here. Guy LaRose trying to play it down the wall. Wings look like they're ready for a change, although Berenson plays it ahead.
Well, you know the boys would love nothing more than to get the puck to 7 in front and watch him bang one home. I think the roof might come off of this building.
83 years old is Red Berenson. Ahead now onto the stick of Bob Sweeney. Turned over now, Mike Knuble. Getting it back, knocked away though. Never was able to pull the trigger on that shot attempt. Strung ahead up the right wing. Sweeney's on it. Trying to return it to him. Back in behind the Detroit net now. We're going to check in with Meltdown momentarily. We'll get down to him. We get a stoppage here. He's going to have interviews throughout the broadcast, in game and in the intermission for us. Now Knuble. He and Kindle work it in. Kindle goes to the goal, follows up and ties the game. Beautiful play there between Knuble and Kindle, and it's 2-2 with 9:37 to go in the first.
Go to the net, good things happen. Keep the stick down. That's exactly what happened there. You know, maybe one of the best color commentators in the business can let us know what he saw as we throw it down to Meltdown.
Meltdown.
Us on the board here. You got us rolling.
Got it going. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't pick that top corner like I wanted, but you know what? That's okay. Bert finished it off.
Yeah, that's right. Things were kind of not going your way, and you kind of broke the ice down there and got that breakaway.
An errant pass up the middle, that's always dangerous. It was 50 years ago, and it still is today.
I was going to say, it's like, this is such a great sport. We were just talking before he came on, how I play on the weekends with my son and everything. You can't play football and baseball and stuff like this.
You know what? That's why this is the greatest game in the world. I still skate twice a week around here with all the young guys. Just enjoy to compete and play and get an exercise. And, of course, it never changes. The game is great. In the locker room, you could do a reality show out of the locker room, so it's good.
I've often said you could drop a microphone in there and put a podcast on, but guys might get fired.
Yeah, they would, but it's all worth it. It's priceless, that's for sure.
Well, Mickey, enjoy the rest of the game. And, of course, he's got to go back to work tonight and the real broadcast later on with the Red Wings. Thanks so much, Mickey.
You're right, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Meltdown. Always great to hear that voice of one Mickey Redmond. And yeah, he's right. Reality show. You could do several reality shows with these two squads and the stories and the years combined they played. All these players, amazing stuff. 2-2 here. 8:25 to go in the opening period. Boston's got it now. Niedhaus played it back. Now Craig Niedhaus the post-game party. He will be the musical act. He has turned himself into quite the musician as Craig Nienhaus, number 38. His son Nash is the captain up at Michigan State now for Adam Nightingale, and very proud family he's from. He's very close with Mark Messier. They got to know each other over the years through a guy you've talked about a few times, Ken Linsman. When Linsman was in Edmonton, that's kind of how that friendship formed. Bouncing puck, and
look out.
Yeah, it's covered and held here. We'll have a face-off coming up with 7:49 to go in the period.
You know, these guys can still do so many little things that if you're a fan of the game in any way, shape, or form, they just make it look so easy and so effortless. And you got to remember, guys, right now, they're going at about 20%.
Right.
And the pace is going to pick up yet. Make no mistake about that. But just little things from both teams, just little chips and finding a pass just like that.
Look out here. Here comes Alberts. Nice move there. And Eddie Mio did what he could, but Andrew Alberts sticks that one around him as he was outstretched and down on the ice, and Boston's back up by 1.
Boy, those 41s for the Bruins, both of them. That reach, take a look at that reach. Oh, boy, yeah, somebody's got to help Eddie out.
Yeah, wait till you see this when we come out live.
Yeah.
They're going to give him a little equipment adjustment here. How's that? Think that'll work for Eddie?
There he is. Eddie's a good sport about it. He said, listen, if it's going to help me out, absolutely, let's go.
Oh, I
but
love it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you got those big bodies like Big Al Peterson and Andrew Alberts. That reach is all the difference in the world. That outlet pass goes off the boards, and he's able to reach it and turn that into a goal for the Bruins as they retake a lead with 7:38 to go.
You know, say what you want about Don Van Massenholm, but that was pretty kind of him, wasn't it?
That was very kind. He's got a big heart as far as I'm concerned.
Watching, we had Nick Monticelli on from Local 4 here, Channel 4 in Detroit, when we came on the air, and watching when he interviewed Mickey Redmond last week, and he said, yeah, if you ever want to take a shot at some old referees, I'm sure we all do, we're hockey fans, we've got a couple of them coming out. And Mickey never lets up. Played ahead now for Lemelin. Gives it back to Ken Hodge Jr. He's got a goal here so far in this one of the 3 that Boston has scored. I want to see Mio make a save with his giant goal stick.
I think Eddie would like to see him make a big save with that giant goal stick right now.
Probably would, you're right.
No doubt about that. Boy, you look for it. Bruins love that home run pass, don't they?
They do.
They've nearly sprung it a few times.
Here comes Alberts again, walks right in, shoots, there's one. Off the paddle. Save number 1 for Mio, right? Lemelin tries it, Eddie lost the goal stick. It's like the bottom of a tree he's playing with. Kept it at the line. David Shaw now. Alberts has been all over the joint for Boston, 41. He's in the corner, trailing the play. Craig Nienhaus getting it free to him. Alberts takes a look now, finds Shaw. Watched by Cicerelli. Lemelin tried to get a piece.
Boy, didn't Shaw look on that near point like he wanted to let her fire?
He did.
Okay, I'm just going to wrist her in.
Now, I'm not sure on the rules. Are we playing like, drop-in beer league? Are there slap shots? Can you wind up and let them go or not?
That's a good question.
I guess we'll find out.
Here we go, a little 2-on-2, a guy that can snipe.
Here's Dino, gives it up to McCarty. McCarty threw one right at the keeper, and it's steered away. Red Berenson still got enough speed to get over there and get that. Down the wall to Dino. Red wanted to play it. LaRose pestering the defense there a little bit, but it's handled by Larry Murphy. Eddie Mio has come out, and Jimmy Howard now on the fly goalkeeping change here, Sean.
Yeah, let's see McCarty can take advantage.
Oh, off his shoulder.
Boy, he had him short side, too. I think Mac would like that back.
5:15 remaining. 17-minute periods we're playing. Smolinski played it across to the point. Now LaRose gets a step, gets inside, and Howard tested right away. You got a piece of that. Puck free to Red Berenson.
Great story about Smoke, Brian Smolinski, former Michigan State guy. He is a referee in the MHSAA now.
I saw that. 51 years young is Smoke from Toledo. First rounder of Boston in 1990. Had 4 great years at Michigan State. And had a really good NHL career.
Finished his career with Montreal, as a matter of fact. And as fate would have it, who did they beat in the first round? The Boston Bruins.
Of course. 8 teams he played for in the National Hockey League, over 1,000 games. Keeper's way out of position. Detroit, though, keeps it around the perimeter. Darian Hatcher now. In front, Miller tipped that one in, and Drew Miller, he gets on the board, and it's a 3-3 game.
Well, take a look at that. This is exactly what we're talking about. Watch the little things there. Just setting up shop, getting down in a tripod, getting a piece of that, popping it up and over.
Back down to Meltdown. He's got a Boston Bruin guest with him now.
Hey, John Winsink is with us, having fun out here, John.
A great time. I mean, it's always fun to get the guys together and have a little bit of reminiscing on our careers and what have you, and then just getting out there and getting a little sweat and having fun, yes.
Now, do you still play back wherever you're living?
I live in St. Louis, and I skate a fair amount with the Blues Alumni. They actually skate quite a bit. I live 2 hours away, so I don't make it all the time.
Well, good luck for the rest of the game here. My boy Smoke, give him a little bit of grief. They call him the Brown Streak. Is that right?
That's a new one to me. That's a new one to me.
He said, talk about how fast I am.
I thought you were going to say how fast I was, but
that's what I'm talking about.
All right, the Brown Streak, is that the new one? Is that the new lingo in
That
hockey?
might be a bad one. I don't know, but
Oh, boy.
the best mustache in all of Boston. How about that one? There you go. John, thank you so much. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Meltdown. John is 70 years old. This will give you, I'm sure, some memories. Terry O'Reilly, Stan Jonathan, and John Winsink. Those were the enforcers on those Boston teams in the 70s.
And you know what? He couldn't be a nicer guy. Had a long conversation with him. He couldn't be, as you just heard with Meltdown, couldn't be a nicer guy. But you know this, Ben.
Yep.
Most of the quote-unquote enforcers are the nicest guys on earth.
They're soft. They're teddy bears usually, right? Down at their core. Just over 3 to play. Plenty of scoring. That won't be a problem today. 3-3 is the score. Detroit trying to keep it in. Rick Zombo blowing a tire there right near Zombo was former 50-goal scorer John Ogrodnik. Rick Zombo now a head coach in college hockey at Lindenwood in St. Louis. Of course, he had many great years with the Wings and then quite a few in St. Louis, and found a home there, giving back to the game. Great to see so many of these guys coach nowadays.
Boy, he tried to send Helm away. I would have loved to see Darren Helm turn on the Jets. I had a chance to first see Darren Helm in the 2007 Memorial Cup, and his speed at that level, Ben, was frightening. I mean, it was like, hitting the X button if you're playing video games. It really was. It was like hitting the X button, and he used that for a nice long career in the National Hockey League.
And I've always said about Darren Helm, look at the era and the time when he broke into the Red Wings. That 08 Cup team, it was nearly impossible if you were a draft pick or a prospect for 20 years to make Detroit's team, and he was one of the few guys that did it, and it's because of what you said, as we know, his speed.
Well, there's no substitute for speed in the game. No doubt about it.
Here's Zombo in tight, lost it, Bertuzzi. Boston trying to get it out, and they're able to clear it outside of the zone ahead for Winsink.
It warms my heart to see the smiles on these guys' faces out there. I'm serious. They're having a blast.
The Brown Streak there went to the goal mouth there, just missed on that one. Under 2 to go in the opening frame. Sweeney looking for Winsink. Cicerelli wanted the puck. He's got it. The back skate of Bertuzzi, but he gathers it in. Bertuzzi left there. Yuri Fisher unable to get to it. Both teams changing. Kevin Miller's on for Detroit, wearing 23. Darren McCarty plays it up left wing for the aforementioned Kevin Miller. Now back to McCarty. John Blum, he was traded originally on the Wings.
Absolutely.
Miller and McCarty trying to make some magic. Now Fisher comes in, flips one toward the keeper, and it's gloved and held with 49.9 to go in the period.
So Larry Murphy was a part of one of the most historic goals in the game of hockey, and I don't think most people realize it. But I'm sure you remember Canada Cup 1987. Wayne and Mario putting on a show.
Yep.
That final goal in Game 3,
yep.
Larry Murphy was the trailer on a 3-on-1. And I talked to Larry one time, and he told me point blank, he goes, we're coming down the ice, I see a 3-on-1, and I knew there was no way I was going to see the puck. And he was absolutely right as Wayne passed it over to Mario, and Mario scored one of the most historic goals and one of the best series, period, in the game of hockey.
I remember that well. Larry Murphy is 62 now. Good chance there and a good save on Nienhaus, turned in by Jimmy Howard.
That's a big stop by Howard.
Nienhaus flying around, getting ready to crank it up in the post-game party with his musical act. Here's Drew Miller. Takes a look patiently with it. Trying to bank it in there off the left skate. Gathered in by the Bruins D. And they're able to get it out to center. Final seconds here. Yuri Fisher's got it. He'll just fling one ahead. And the horn sounds to end a very entertaining opening period, Sean Baligian. 3-3 our score.
Oh, that was a heck of a lot of fun. And, you know, look at the respect out there, even for the officials.
They're working them.
The players going over to Massenhoven and giving them a hug, giving them a shake. You know, maybe a little punch here or there. Remember that time you got me in Colorado, whatever the case may be. But
yep.
This is a blast, Ben. I'm telling you, point blank, I'm having so much fun with this, and we're going to keep saying this. Not only are we having fun, not only are you seeing great hockey, but this is for a myriad of fantastic charities, and all you have to do is go to the ghpastorfoundation.com and you can be a part of this as well.
Let's check in downstairs with Meltdown.
Of course, tons of legends playing here. Another one, Rick Middleton. Rick, how you feeling out there?
Well, I didn't play that much. I played the first shift and got an assist, and then I quit. So I'm ahead of the game.
I was going to say, what do you got to do to break this 3-3 tie here?
Well, you know, the goalies are going to be going in, the younger goalies, so it's going to be harder to score. So I expect the scoring is going to come down, and it'll probably end up like a 6-5 game.
6-5. Hey, so how ingrained are you in the Boston hockey right now?
Oh, well, Boston hockey, you know, with the team having the season they did last year, you know, unfortunately what happened in the first round happened, and they're kind of in a little rebuilding right now with Bergeron leaving and Krejci. So our alumni is a strong alumni. We do about 30 games a year for charities. I was the president for 15 years. I just retired. Frank Simonetti took it over. And we love to do these games with other NHL alumni. We've done the Rangers, Montreal, and we love coming here to Detroit.
Yeah, I was going to say, how fun is it to sit in the locker room and talk with some of your old teammates?
Oh, absolutely. You know, guys you haven't seen in decades, like Reed Larson, played in Boston my last year in 87, 88, and I haven't seen him since. It was awesome.
Played with my hero growing up, Gilbert Perreault. Played against him, of course.
Wow, he was unbelievable, yeah. And I got a chance to play with him in the Canada Cups, so it was awesome.
NHL legend Rick Middleton here today as we get ready for period number 2 coming up here in just a bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks, Meltdown. No question about it. A legend in every sense. You can donate, help out, going to ghpastorfoundation.com. There's an online auction. It's going on all day into the night. There'll be autographed jerseys on there. Both teams are going to sign a jersey. That'll be one of the auction items. Go check it out, ghpastorfoundation.com. We'll step aside here. We've reached the end of the opening period. The Red Wings and Bruins alumni squads putting on a good show here on the prep. It's a 3-3 tie.
vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G-Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G-Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G-Brand. Now that's game.
Ryan Pastor is a bright 7-year-old with a love for baseball, soccer, the Red Wings, and playing with his baby sister Rachel. But Ryan's life has been anything but typical. He began experiencing severe headaches, and then a parent's worst nightmare happened.
We took him into Providence Hospital that night. They transferred him to William Beaumont Hospital. At that point, they reevaluated him on Monday morning, which was Dr. Sekalik, and they performed the surgery on Tuesday.
The first thing they told us, he had a mass on his brain. Well, naturally, you think the worst of what it was. They really didn't go into too much detail. I mean, we were both quite in shock when they said mass, tumor.
At the time of surgery, we go and remove the bone in the back part of his head. We remove the tumor, and actually in his case, we were able to remove it totally. At the same time, we relieve the pressure by draining the water cavities that contain the cerebrospinal fluid. We remove that pressure by putting a drain in and letting the drain the fluid externally.
The tumor was successfully removed, but Ryan wasn't responding.
And they thought that he'd come out and have a very sore head, eating ice cream, watching TV. When he came out of the operation, he laid there motionless, could only move his eyes from right to center. And I'll tell you what, talk about putting a knife in your heart and twisting it, that's basically what we felt. It was the hardest thing that we ever been through.
At that point, that's when they really sat us down and explained everything about the surgery and what could have happened, and different things that we needed to expect in the future.
Intensive therapy was now required if little Ryan was ever to lead a normal life. Therapist Laura Hay.
He had a lot of difficulty maintaining his eyes on something and then bringing his arms up to make contact with that object. Anything functional an average 7-year-old would be doing was affected.
But Ryan was a little fighter.
Okay, Ryan, what are you doing?
Cutting.
What are you making?
A flower and a sun.
That kid will keep going and going, and he'll just do anything you ask him to do.
I'm just amazed by his inner strength and his determination to get better.
I mean, they send us home with exercises to do or different things to do with him over the weekend or even at night at home to speed things up for him. And I mean, they're like family with us.
Today, with the advancements in medical science, Ryan has made extraordinary progress. Do you have hockey things in there?
Yeah.
Now, tell me again, why do you like Sergei Fedorov the best?
Because he scores a lot of goals. And he's the fastest one in the league.
Ryan Pastor is on the road to recovery thanks to the dedicated doctors, nurses, and therapists at William Beaumont Hospital.
go to kickoff to get rid of my fever. There's 4 different types of medicine to help my fever. Oh, I have epilepsy because I mostly have fevers at night. And then a modified diet to help my fever. I was to be a normal kid and not take medicine and not have fever. Thank you everyone for your love and support, helping me and others from suffering from epilepsy. I love you.
Are we ready for our interview? Are you ready? All right. Hey, I just texted Drew. I'm like, I texted him. He thinks the school could be scored. Hey, are you going to ask him today?
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Goal line receivers, pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Does your bank make you feel like you belong there? At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, you are a member of a financial institution that serves the Catholic community, providing you with an opportunity to align your banking with your Catholic identity. You receive all the products and services you need to manage your money, and your membership helps support Catholic schools, parishes, and organizations. It's time to put your money where your faith is. Visit AllianceCatholic.com to get started today. Service, community, Catholic. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
And welcome back in. Ben Holden, Sean Beligian, and Meltdown on the call of the Red Wings and Bruins alumni showdown here at Big Boy Arena in Fraser. Mickey Redmond with a chance there, Sean. It was cleaned up by Bertuzzi. 6 goals in the opening period. Apparently they've got our broadcast running in the locker room. Guys are texting you.
Yes, they're having a blast. No doubt. I even got a text from one of the officials as well. So, no, this is fantastic. And, you know, where else can you go on a day like today where you see 500, 600 goal scorers? Joey Mullen got it all started. You know, Ben, one of the best American players ever. I mean,
100%.
Really, I think he belongs in the conversation. No doubt about that. But this is just so much fun. Vladdy out here as well. Of course, Vladimir Konstantinov out here. You know, different generations of players, too. I think it's kind of funny how that works out. I'm watching a conversation right now down on the ice between a couple of guys whose career not too far in the distant past. Chad LaRose, of course, Carolina Hurricanes predominantly, but certainly a local legend around here. Grew up in Fraser, played for the Plymouth Whalers, having an in-depth conversation right now with another guy whose career isn't too far in the rearview mirror.
Another East Sider in Danny DeKaiser.
You got it.
Macomb Township, and played in Western Michigan in his days. So, yeah, it's great to see Ken Linsman. He is talking with Don Van Massenov. It looks like he and Smolinski are having a little chat. It is great. You saw before we came back, Darren McCarty was in the tunnel for probably 3, 4, 5 minutes, just signing everything that was put in front of him. And as you and I know, Sean, and those that know this game, that is one of the beautiful things about the sport of hockey. Players give back to the fans. They absolutely love them. I think it's more unique than in any sport you can put out there in front of us.
It is amazing. Just over and over, they give their time. They have so much fun with it. And, you know, Ben, like you, had an opportunity to talk to so many of these guys in the last few weeks, and they are loving every aspect of this. I can't say enough about what John Pastor and his foundation are doing, the GH Pastor Foundation. Make sure you go to ghpastorfoundation.com. And we haven't brought up our mutual friend Joe Neville yet. I mean, Joe has been tireless for many, many months trying to put things together here, so it's been pretty cool to see.
Months went into this, and we played one period, 17 minutes on the clock. The second is underway. Kevin Miller out there up front with McCarty and Cicerelli. Ryan Smolinski's out there floating around for the Bruins. Wearing number 20. Looking in the direction of Chad LaRose. McCarty's got a little rap on him there. Begging for a call. Played ahead for Shoebottom. Now LaRose jumps into the rush, cuts into the middle. And Larry Murphy's there. I need to correct something from the opening period. Jimmy Howard's jersey is being worn, but that's Mark Cormier,
yes,
who is in net in replacement of Howard in the lineup. So bang-up job for Mark. He had a couple of big saves. They tested him early on. Smolinski and LaRose, and there's another good save gobbled up by Cormier.
Chad kind of laughing to himself and hearing it from the bench. Should have had one there. He had quite a few. I had an up-close and personal seat for 61 goals his final year of junior. He was unstoppable.
Danny DeKaiser. You mentioned talking with LaRose earlier. He was his last year in college at Western. He was really the most sought-after college free agent out there. And Andy Murray told me a funny story. Did a lot of Danny's games in college at Western, and he's got it again here. And Craig McTavish and the Edmonton Oilers came to Kalamazoo to watch him, went out to dinner with his family after, and Murray got a call from McTavish and said, there's no way I'm getting this kid. He's got a Detroit Red Wing license plate holder on his car. And he said, yeah, you're probably not going to get him. And we know what happened from there.
We do.
Here's Linsman. Haven't really called his name a lot. He's got to have something in the tank here, I would think, Sean. He's out there buzzing around a little bit.
You know, everybody knows him as, an agitator. And
the Rat.
The Rat, as we know, but Kenny could play a little bit.
Yeah.
He could play a little bit. I think people forget that. Boston and Philadelphia and Edmonton. Kenny could play a little bit.
860 games, had 807 points. Cormier tested again there. Came free to Darian Hatcher.
But I'll tell you, one of the funniest videos you can watch on YouTube to describe how different hockey was for us growing up is a brawl that started with, of all people, Ken Linsman and Chris Nyland in Boston.
Boy.
And it started at the benches, and it made its way into the tunnel as all the players disappeared into the tunnel. And all because of Kenny the Rat Linsman and Knuckles Nyland.
Stirring it up. Here's a centering attempt, and Cormier with another good stop. He's got a handful. That's the best one he's made so far. The Brown streak went flying by there. John Wensink.
I'm going to tell you what, Meltdown's boy might be putting himself in the running for one of the stars here tonight.
Going to go down to Meltdown. Couple of more minutes. And he's chatting with his old pal, Darren McCarty. Bruins in. Redirect again. Cormier, another stop. Man, he's dialed.
Now he's just showing off.
Right?
He's just showing off down there. Staying with the puck, as any goaltender did. Not buying the move. Stay with the puck. Watch this. Goes down. Nope, I'm not falling for that. I'm going to make myself as big as I can.
He's a throwback in the undersized sense. I mean that kindly. Playing really well in there.
Good crowd here today. Boy, this is just a fun atmosphere. Hope this is the first of many more, Ben.
I do too. Boston already wants one. Toronto's mentioned they want to get involved. The Rangers in April, I'm told, they will meet up with the Red Wing alumni squad here in the Metro Detroit area. Long feed up to the line. Good keep. Played down in behind the goal now as Sweeney has it. All 6 goals came in the opening period.
Well, Bruins are kind of like those Great Wings teams in the late aughts and in the early teens. Boy, they love that puck possession, don't they?
They sure do.
They have really done a good job of holding on to the puck here tonight.
Bob Sweeney had it, lost it. John Ogrodnik finds Kindle. Ogrodnik, rim of the circle, good low shot, steered away. Knuble, that one off the elbow, right in the right side of the goal there up top. A rising shot, Larry Murphy. Redirect. Stop there was Yuri Fisher. John Blum trying to get a little breathing room, and he'll send it the length.
A good shift there by these guys. It starts with another guy that looks like he could go, Mike Knuble. Boy, oh boy.
Former East Kentwood Falcon. High school ranks, played for the legendary Ron Baum, coached decades at East Kentwood before Mike embarked on his junior and college career and longtime NHL career. Craig Nienhaus. He's got a little mojo. Craig's looked good out there today. Kenny Hodge Jr. with it now. Scored a goal in the opening frame, played it back. Now a shot. Another good stop from Cormier, but he could not get enough with just one. He had to make two, and a dazzling stop with a trapper there.
Oh, Rejean Lemlin, a goaltender in front. And I was told by many of the Bruins that their former goaltender, Reggie Lemlin, take a look at that stop. Reggie robbed, I tell you, robbed.
Yeah. So I would say Cormier has climbed up that 3 stars list. Here's Alberts walking right down the slot. Threw it into the skates there of the Red Wing player, and they get it out to center. That was Kevin Miller who hit. Simonetti plays it back. And the Bruins will try to get it outside of the zone. Darian Hatcher, the handle there. Bertuzzi slings one in the direction of Kevin Miller. There's the great Miller family. 10 of them played their college hockey at Michigan State. Cousin Drew out there with Kevin. David Shauna with Alberts. The stick of Nienhaus took a look at the back of that blade. Blade's just fine. Darian Hatcher to Bertuzzi. Kevin Miller to Kaiser. Bertuzzi still with a handle. Looked in the direction of DeKaiser. It was sticked away, though, by Smolinski. From the back end, Detroit plays it ahead. Mickey Redmond's back out on the ice. No bucket for Mick. You knew he wasn't going to wear a helmet.
Oh, no way. Reed Larson out there. He's got that familiar-looking bucket out there.
Yeah, the old Jofa. Now LaRose trying to jam one in. Cormier once again. Another big stop from him. Got the goal stick down. Helm takes a look. Force him back in behind the goal. Drew Miller. Back in the direction of Darren Helm. Unable to gather it in.
He's slowing down here just a little bit. I think it's waiting for somebody like Darren Helm to
crank it up.
Put a little pepper in there.
Yeah. Puck came out high in the slot. Picked up by Shoebottom. Softly ahead for Smolinski. Smoke will feed it to the right side. Bruins in. Shoebottom couldn't get it. LaRose with a chance. And Cormier again. Right place, right time.
Well, I'm telling you what, this kid's going to earn one of the 3 stars.
He has to.
Forget about in the running. I mean, he's going to earn one of the 3 stars.
No question.
He's getting a piece of everything. He's sharp out there.
Really is. Well, Meltdown gave us the scouting report on him. There's a chance, and Smolinski, little celly from Smoke as he puts that one on. A little high five and a hug to the referee. And Boston gets the first goal here in the second. Smoke is waving to the crowd. He's always a showman, isn't he? 4-3 Boston.
Yeah, he is. Here's a look from behind. Had a screen in front. I think that was Shoebottom providing the screen in front. And Smoke gets her done. Michigan State legend to be sure.
Let's get down to Meltdown. And this conversation, I believe, Sean, is going to be nothing about Darren McCarty's great career, but all about Meltdowns. Meltdown?
Well, between DMAC and myself, we have 4 Stanley Cups. And, I don't know if you know this or not, but...
See what happens when you hit the net, Meltdown? You score.
Well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about my career here, because this is where I played my pro hockey.
Oh, I thought you meant in the penalty box or whatever we're in right here. You've never seen this.
No, Darian Hatcher and myself, Chelly, my 31 seconds of fame right here.
There it is. It's all about you. Hey, too bad you couldn't make the cut for the lineup tonight.
That's right, yeah. So how's it feeling out there?
IR? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Or are you suspended?
I didn't meet the height requirement.
That's it. That's what it is. But we got you some tires.
I got a tire to stand on. That's right. How you feeling out there?
You know what? It's a blast. It's all about look at the people that have showed up. I think that's what it is. It's always awesome, you know, to be able to do with an original 6 alumni team. Some of these guys, you know, Kenny the Rat Linsman and Joe Mullen and, you know, John Winsick. I mean, holy cow, talk about back in the day. So the little kid in me is having a lot of fun. So hopefully we're putting on a little bit of a show. It's great to see the lineup that we have on our bench too. So anytime we get back together, to me, it's all about the locker room and the fans and everything like that. Whatever happens on the ice happens.
And Ben and Sean, just in case you don't know a little behind the scenes here, D-Mac is actually not even wearing his own skates, so he's out here trooping.
I'm all over the place because I got no skates. I got a stick from 25 years ago, but you know what? We're out here grinding away, so we'll continue to try to do it here.
There you go, 4-time Stanley Cup champion and all-around good dude, Darren McCarty right here.
That meltdown.
Awesome stuff. Always a man that is never short on words. That's putting it mildly. Good stuff. It's both of them, actually.
Yeah, both of them. Darren, he doesn't even take an opportunity to rest during the intermission. He's texting people, sending messages. That's the type of guy he is. Just a great guy, and I'm blessed to be able to call him a friend, to be sure.
Yep. A Detroit icon in every sense, Darren McCarty. One-shot game here, 4-3 Boston. Darian Hatcher with some speed through center comes Kindle. Kindle trying to stick that one over the near side shoulder of the keeper there for the Boston Bruins, John Damrath. Steve Shields, their other keeper, thrown in front. Good quick stick there waiting was Alberts. Nifty little pass there to spring the Bruins ahead in over the line. Pat Leahy, the former Miami Red Hawk. He's got it again in the corner. Alberts, one-timer, and again, Cormier is there. And Sean, he is, cue the Pink Floyd. I know they scored one, but he's been a wall for the most part since he's come in.
And he had to be very careful there. Take a look at number 18, John Wensick, sitting in front. Boy, if there was any trash, he was playing a little Phil Esposito down there, waiting to put that garbage in. And Wensick was rooting, and Cormier wouldn't give it up.
Boston off the draw. Keep it inside, up top. Now they'll get another redirection there, and Cormier could not keep that one out of the goal. And the Bruins make it a 5-3 game.
Quick stick there, a couple of 20 strike. Just a moment ago, Smoke, Brian Smolinski gave him the lead, but Big Bob Sweeney, just a little one-timer there. Couldn't keep that one out. He's another long-time Bruin and head of their alumni association. And I'm sure you know this, Ben. They are like the Detroit Red Wings alumni. They do so much all over New England. And I know Bob Sweeney is a big part of that.
Yeah, they do. Ken Hodge had mentioned, and I'm sure Bob mentioned to you when you talked with him on your radio show, but 25, 30 events a year they do out east with this alumni squad of the Boston Bruins. That's great. So a 5-3 game here. Leahy's got another chance, walks in, sends it over, and Cormier. Greg Nienhuis was looking skyward after that. Great little two-man game between Leahy and Nienhuis there. Now Kevin Miller works his way in, forced into the corner. In front, McCarty. Not his skates, 25-year-old stick, he still goes at it.
How about the respect from Bob Sweeney after that last stop by Cormier? He made a point to skate over and kind of pat him on the shoulder as if to say, way to go, kid.
Yeah. Zombo. Ran out of steam there, tried to kick it. Now it's up top, Bertuzzi. Low shot, stick save made. Still loose, Detroit at the paint. McCarty and Cicerelli in there, the surprise of no one, sniffing around. Now Fisher trying to flip one ahead for Bertuzzi. Bruins take it away. Here's Lemelin. Bertuzzi steals that, knocks it down. Here he comes, shoots, scores. Todd Bertuzzi, a bullet. And it's 5-4 with 4:05 to go here in the second.
Oh, those giveaways in the neutral zone. And Reggie Lemlin, the goaltender, would be ticked at Reggie Lemlin, the player, for giving that puck up right there. But Burton made no mistake about it. John Blum just a second behind. Burt knew it. Snipe job there for number 44, Todd Bertuzzi.
Let's check in downstairs with Meltdown.
That's right. Joe Mellon joins us wearing, of course, number 11. I was just telling Rick Middleton, I grew up in Buffalo, and Gilbert Perreault is my guy. So you've played against him many times, I'm sure.
A few early in my career, and he was a great player to watch. Just so smooth on the ice and so strong and powerful. He was fun to watch.
What do you think about this game so far?
I'm liking it so far. We're ahead, so that's a good sign. But, you know, I'm sure Detroit's got a little bit more in the tank than they're showing right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got guys like Helm and some of these guys, they just retired like yesterday. They got some wheels out there.
All right, just don't let them know that they just retired, because we'd rather think they are retired so that they be honest.
Talk about being out with your former teammates.
Oh, it's great, you know, to see the guys, and, you know, a lot of us didn't play together, but, you know, they played with the Bruins, and we played against each other, so it's always good to see somebody, everybody, you know, just, it's one big happy family, the NHL and the hockey community.
All right, final thing here for you. Name one highlight from your career. What's one thing you look back on and said, that's it?
Just making it, just playing that first game, and then, you know, feeling like I can do this, you know. So.
Well, there you go. Hockey legend Joe Mullen joining us here today in the Red Wings and the Boston Bruins alumni game.
Thanks, Meltdown. Yeah, undrafted Sean, 17 seasons, 1,062 games he played, and 1,063 points for Joe Mullen. Grew up just a few blocks from Madison Square Garden and Hell's Kitchen.
I'm going to say it again as Andrew Alberts just scored. Take a look at this. But, you know, when you talk about Joe Mullen, you are legitimately talking about one of the best American hockey players ever. And, boy, that list is an illustrious list. I'm impartial. I think Chris Chelios belongs at or near the top of that list. But I think Joe Mullen definitely, no doubt about that, Joe Mullen belongs near the top of that list.
He only played 1 year with the Boston Bruins, 95, 37 games. Retired with Pittsburgh his final year after those 17 in the league. 6-4 game now. Just over 2 to play in the period. Detroit with Miller out there. Drew Miller with some speed out there with Red Berenson and Brent Fedek. Boston scored 3 in each period so far. Detroit just the 1 here in the second. Here's Ken Linsman. The diminutive 1 lays it up top for Shaw. Down deep. Shaw comes down, comes in. And David Shaw and the Boston Bruins continue to click here.
Well, you know, just a simple give and go here, and nobody picked up Shaw cruising in the high slot area. Alberts is having himself a night here. Take a look at that feed, and Shaw, there aren't a lot of goalies anywhere that's going to make that stop. You get the you get the defender coming in high slot area, nobody on him. Pick his spot.
Beautifully done. Boston controls it here. 90 seconds remaining here in the second period. Meanhouse watched there by Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik helped force that turnover. Here's Reed Larson. I mean, Reed Larson's got the vintage bucket, the vintage skates. Look at those babies. Those old Microns, aren't they?
Yeah, sure looks that way.
Yeah.
Well, he told me, hey, listen, I haven't been out there in a while, so he's got the old school gear to be sure.
It's in the state. I know what a big proponent and fan you are of high school hockey, as am I. In the state of Minnesota, they award the Reed Larson Award every year for the top defensive player, top defenseman in the state of Minnesota. That's quite an honor for him.
Well deserved, an illustrious career. Of course, served here as a captain for the Red Wings for a few years. 82 to 86, he was captain of the Red Wings, and a guy by the name of Danny Gare.
Wait, what do we got going here, Sean? I mean, at the red line, I mean, apparently the
John
officials.
Koharski, maybe he needed a little break. Look at.
I mean, we could go a couple directions here, right?
Yeah.
With that, but we won't.
No. Do you, Don?
Okay. So
Let's give Red Berenson a penalty shot.
the Red Baron.
Oh, look at him.
83 years old is Red. I think he's going to score here, Sean.
I like his chances. To the deke, to the backhand.
He scores. Red Berenson.
Oh, is that great?
I'm sure there's a piece of Red that might have said, I really want the goalie in there. I don't want this given to me.
I'm going to agree with you there, Ben. You know him a little bit. Still a competitive guy, always smiling, always has conversation.
Yep. Classic. So that makes it 7-5 here. After Koharski says, all right, we're going to give Detroit a penalty shot for something that happened earlier in the game. So a 2-goal cushion here with 35 seconds to go in the middle period of play. Fisher gets it in deep. Knuble in front. They go to him, and he got a piece of it, but it just deflected off the mark. Now Kindle for Murphy. Murphy. Fisher. Knuble again. Boston holding their own here in the final seconds of the period. Grodnick was looking the direction of Larry Murphy. Couldn't get him the puck. And the horn sounds. We've played 2 full periods. And it's a 7-5 lead in favor of the Boston Bruins.
Well, the Wings alumni have their work cut out for them. This is a pretty good Boston team. And the way they're playing, Ben, going to be tough to make up a couple goals on this team. They've pretty much led throughout, but we'll see what the third period holds.
Well, we'll see, too. Maybe Koharski goes back to another penalty shot. I mean, who knows the way this thing's going. A lot of fun with Sean Belizean and Meltdown. All of our crew here from the Prep. Hope you're enjoying it here on the Prep YouTube channel. One more period to go. We're going to go downstairs, check in with Meltdown, who's got Nick Libet standing by, one of the coaches.
That's right, another hockey legend. Of course, been with the Red Wings program for many years. I call him Mr. Libet, but Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Meltdown.
Of course, he's been doing this for a long time. It's great to see this kind of atmosphere, of course, with the Red Wings alumni team.
Oh, it's great. Some of the guys, you know, I'm a little older than most of the guys, and it's just nice to hang around and have the hockey fraternity back together.
Yeah, I was talking about this with Mickey earlier. It's like you don't get this in like football and other sports.
I've talked about that many times. I think hockey, you can play it in the beer leagues if you play it as an amateur, but it's just a great way to associate and meet people and make friends.
And of course, hockey's been a big part of your life, and that's, you know, a big part of your family life as well.
It sure has. My son played 4 years at UMass Lowell, officiating in the CCHA, and it's just again, hockey is something that you're born with, and you can carry it on the rest of your life.
Yeah, and playing in Detroit and in Pittsburgh as well. You grew up in Stratford, correct?
Stratford, Ontario.
So kind of in the middle.
The festival city, but I always lean towards Detroit. Pittsburgh played the Bills for the last 2 years.
That's right. Of course, the Bills, yeah, where I'm from. So anyways, Nick Libet here today as well. We're getting ready for period number 3. You gotta light a fire under these guys.
Okay, thank you, Meltdown. The fire's there, but it's the old story. The mind says go and the legs say no.
There you go, up to you guys.
Thanks, Meltdown.
Isn't that the truth?
Those are very true words.
Nobody's going to argue with that.
You and I both know we're both north of 50. Yeah, I said it, but
yeah,
we get it. We get it. Well, we'll take a timeout here. We'll come back with more in the intermission. Third period comes up your way here in an entertaining affair, all for a great cause. here between the Boston Bruins and Detroit Red Wings. You can donate, help out at ghpastorfoundation.com. Online auction is going on right now. It's going on all afternoon into the night. Autographed jerseys. They'll have, each team will have all the guys signing their jersey to be auctioned off as well, so you can check that out. All for a great cause here in Fraser, Michigan. We'll step aside here on the prep. More to come in this matchup between the Boston Bruins and Detroit Red Wings alumni teams after this.
And having epilepsy is boring because you don't get to have pizza and ice cream and Papa John's. I don't like having medicine because it tastes bad and the pills are hard to swallow and they choke on them. I don't want to go to the doctor because you get needles and shots, so I wish to never go there again. Put the leaves on my head. It's boring and disgusting, and I hate it, and it hurts. Take the weeds off my head. It hurts, and it burns, and it stinks, and I do not like it. I never want to have that again. I want to get the glue out of my hair. Okay.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
welcome back here on the Prep. Good to have you with us. Ben Holden, Sean Belegian, and our good buddy Meltdown. Meltdown's in the booth with me. How's the vantage point down there, man?
Yeah, the vantage point is great. No question about that. It's like, you know, obviously I play a lot of hockey, so I see it from down there. But some of these guys, Jakob Kimball and we're looking at this. We're looking at the wrong one. See, you get the radio guys involved, and we look at the wrong cameras.
Well, they just brought the camera in, so it's all good. We're all in tune. It's just seamless, man. Good to be with you.
Seamless, yeah. Great to be with you.
Yeah.
I watch this guy, like, you know, on nights and stuff, and watching college hockey, and smooth, just the pro, true pro.
Well, you are too, man. I mean, come on.
I just talk stupid stuff on the radio and talk to rock bands, but you guys really carry the load.
My dream job when I'm done, or maybe while I'm still doing sports, would be to do what you do, man.
Yeah.
You know I'm a big rock guy, big metal guy.
Yeah, the rock thing's fun, especially when you find guys that are pretty good at, you know, that like sports, like hockey. So there's a band out there, Dirty Honey, and Mark LaBelle, the lead singer.
Yeah.
He's a really good hockey
Really?
player. Yeah. He's come out and played with myself and Milan Hayduk a few times. It's been great.
That's awesome.
Robbie from Godsmack plays. I play with him. The Theory of a Dead Man guys play. A lot of the Canadian bands play. So
I did not know when I got up that you and I'd be talking rock and hockey. I mean, I knew we'd be talking because we were working together.
Right.
But that's pretty awesome, man. You have incredible relationships with so many of these guys. We saw you interview McCarty. You've known Darren forever.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it just to be
Darren,
around these guys? What's that been like for you throughout your
Darren's
career?
one of the people I met almost. I've known him almost the longest of anyone that I've known in Michigan.
Okay.
I moved here in 1995, and I met Darren before he won a Stanley Cup. So it's been a while. But you know, I really like hockey. You know,
yeah.
Is that what Bedard said the other day? I really like hockey. So it's like, you know, just to hang out with these guys and talk with these guys and have a chance to play with a lot of them. I think I counted up one time. I've had the good fortune to play with, I think, 10 or 11 Hockey Hall of Famers.
Wow.
So, you know, and some guys that weren't even in the Hall of Fame when I played with them, but now are, like Lindstrom. I played with Yzerman, you know, guys like that. Brendan Shanahan once. So it's been fun, yeah.
That's awesome. So can you clarify? I couldn't really hear when they did the announcement for the penalty shot. Was that for a missed call by Koharski? Is that what that was?
Koharski's never missed a call, right?
In his own mind,
Are
yeah.
we supposed to? I don't know what's the company line. I'm not sure what we're supposed to say.
I don't think there is one. I think you could hear it better, right? Was that what it was? I missed something?
I think I was getting ready to interview Joe Mullins, so I wasn't really. And plus, I'm in that box. You can't hear anything down there.
Yeah.
So I'm dependent on you guys to paint the picture.
Well, we're doing what we can, man.
And then Sean sent it down to me with the, you know, did you mention me as the best color commentator in all the league when I was getting ready to talk to Mick? Okay.
You owe him $50.
I'll pay back in chicken wings. Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
No, great to see you guys. I'm so happy that I got to do this and work with you guys. Of course, you know, Sean's on another station. You're on TV guys here. Just short radio guys. So I almost stood on the tire.
Next one.
I know. There's some
man.
tires in there. I have to stand on those, I think, next time.
I mean, McCarty probably come in and smoke you against the wall there if you're on ice and skates. So
he has.
Be good television. Great to see you, brother.
Great to see you. Thank you.
All right, Meltdown with us here. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Sean will be back with us here in the booth. And we'll get the third period underway momentarily here on the Prep YouTube channel. It's the Bruins and Red Wings alumni meeting up, and the Bruins lead it by 2.
Ryan Pastor is a bright 7-year-old with a love for baseball, soccer, the Red Wings, and playing with his baby sister Rachel. But Ryan's life has been anything but typical. He began experiencing severe headaches, and then a parent's worst nightmare happened.
We took him into Providence Hospital that night. They transferred him to William Beaumont Hospital. At that point, they reevaluated him on Monday morning, which was Dr. Sekalik, and they performed the surgery on Tuesday.
The first thing they told us, he had a mass on his brain. Well, naturally you think the worst of what it was. They really didn't go into too much detail. I mean, we were both quite in shock when they said mass, tumor.
At the time of surgery, we go and remove the bone in the back part of his head. We remove the tumor, and actually in his case we were able to remove it totally. At the same time, we relieve the pressure by draining the water cavities that contain the cerebrospinal fluid. We remove that pressure by putting a drain in and letting the drain the fluid externally.
The tumor was successfully removed, but Ryan wasn't responding.
And they thought that he'd come out and have a very sore head, eating ice cream, watching TV. When he came out of the operation, he laid there motionless, could only move his eyes from right to center. And I'll tell you what, talk about putting a knife in your heart and twisting it, that's basically what we felt. It was the hardest thing that we ever been through.
At that point, that's when they really sat us down and explained everything about the surgery and what could have happened, and different things that we needed to expect in the future.
Intensive therapy was now required if little Ryan was ever to lead a normal life. Therapist Laura Hay.
He had a lot of difficulty maintaining his eyes on something and then bringing his arms up to make contact with that object. Anything functional an average 7-year-old would be doing was affected.
But Ryan was a little fighter.
Okay, Ryan, what are you doing?
Cutting.
What are you making?
A flower and a sun.
That kid will keep going and going, and I mean, he'll just do anything you ask him to do.
I'm just amazed by his inner strength and his determination to get better.
I mean, they send us home with exercises to do or different things to do with him over the weekend or even at night at home to speed things up for him. And I mean, they're like family with us.
Today, with the advancements in medical science, Ryan has made extraordinary progress. Do you have hockey things in there?
Yeah.
Now, tell me again, why do you like Sergei Fedorov the best?
Because he scores a lot of goals. And he's the fastest one in the league.
Ryan Pastor is on the road to recovery thanks to the dedicated doctors, nurses, and therapists at William Beaumont Hospital.
Hi, my name is Ruby, and I have epilepsy, and I'm only 6. I started having seizures when I was 3 years old. I'm on a phase 2 surgical path to get rid of my seizures. Take 4 different types of medicine to help my seizures. So I have epilepsy because I mostly have seizures at night. I'm on a modified diet to help my seizures. I was to be a normal kid and not take medicine and not have seizures. Thank you everyone for your love and support, helping me and others from suffering from epilepsy. I love you.
Welcome back here on the Prep. Ben Holden, Sean Belizean, and Meltdown on the broadcast here. Sean, we get a look back at some of the moving pictures from the second period and some of the goals scored. We saw those, and 7-5, Boston leads it. They were the better team in that second period.
There's Red completing the penalty shot goal. Interesting conversation in front of us. A couple of old goaltenders, combatants, Reggie Lemelin and Eddie Mio, and Mike Knuble joining that conversation. So, well, I remember Reggie Lemelin coming in and exercising one of the Bruins' biggest demons. 1988, they hadn't beaten the Habs in the playoffs since 1945. Their starter goes out. You're thinking, oh, that's it. We're going to lose to the Habs again. Reggie Lemelin catches fire. The Bruins go all the way to the Stanley Cup final before falling to Edmonton.
Originally drafted by Philadelphia, broke into the league in 1978. Played with the old Atlanta Flames for a couple of years. Calgary, Boston. He's out here. He's like, I don't want to wear the pillows. I want to go out. I want to skate. I want to try and score goals. I don't want to be scored on. He had a couple chances, too.
He has. You've seen him in front. He got robbed one time by Cormier. A little Québécois on Québécois crime, perhaps. I don't know, but yeah, it's been fun.
Third period is underway. 2-goal lead for the Boston Bruins. They give it away. Mike Knuble here. That one off the blocker and sent into the corner. Jakob Kindl, smooth skating, good mitts, gets that puck, kept it inside of the zone. Now he'll track it down in the corner. Larry Murphy sauces one into the far corner, looking over there in the direction of Yuri Fisher. John Ogrodnik played it through the corner to Knuble. Kindl off the right pad, rebound came free. Ogrodnik gives it off to Kindl. Murphy brings it down the wall. Ken Hodge took it away, played it ahead for Craig Nienhuis. Craig's had a couple of chances to score, played it on the wing for Lemelin. Now Nienhuis has it. Flipped it in front. Alberts, he's been all over the joint for Boston.
Yeah, arguably the best player on the ice so far here tonight.
Thrown right on. Keeper makes a stop. Steve Shields is now in goal for Boston. The end our right.
Simonetti with a good opportunity down there. That's a guy that played a bit for the Bruins in the 80s.
Now Danny DeKeyser for Dino Ciccarelli. Back for DeKeyser. Alberts. Back check out of him. Hustling back down the ice. Lemelin. 17-minute periods, nearing 2 minutes gone here in the third. You can go to the G.H. Pastor Foundation website, ghpastor.com. Online auction currently going on. It'll go on throughout the night. All kinds of autographed memorabilia, jerseys, all kinds of different things. You can go on and help out and help the causes. Children's Miracle Network, Beaumont Hospital, as Miller sends one wide, Epilepsy of Kentucky, the Judson Center for Autism, and Livonia Live Learn Enrichment Center.
Boy, Miller, let me tell you something. Kevin Miller put some sauce on that shot. He did not miss by much.
Here's Darren Helm from Mickey Redmond. Snapper down low there from Helm. LaRose just missing on that pass. Reed Larson quickly steered it ahead for Darren Helm. There with Drew Miller. A few hundred games those guys played together in their Red Wing careers. David Shaw has it now. Looks ahead for Smolinski. Reed Larson getting free. Tied up a little bit there in the corner there by Bruce Shoebottom.
Yeah, Shoebottom tried to get the arm around him. You could see Reed just kind of give a chuckle.
I don't know. Did you collect hockey cards?
Oh, you kidding me? OPG and Tops.
I think I have 25 Bruce Shoebottom cards from back in the day.
It's kind of funny how that worked out. For whatever reason, you'd always get the same card, right? Yeah. Remember Ted Bully? I had a whole bunch of Ted Bully from the Chicago Blackhawk cards.
Same. Fisher pestered from behind. That one almost hopped underneath the crossbar there, but just went over it instead. Ken Linsman's got Guy LaRose ahead. They speeded up that right side. LaRose dropped it back for Linsman. Linsman was looking for Mullen. Three guys with still really good speed. McCarty fires off the glove.
What a stop. Sniper play there by McCarty. High slot, used the defender as a screen, and Shields came up big with that glove hand.
Former Michigan Wolverine playing against his former coach, Red Berenson, on the Detroit side. Red will go into the corner. John O'Grodnik. Knuble couldn't handle it. Now Boston will try and capitalize. Good low shot, save made. O'Grodnik playing it back for Knuble. Boston 4 wide at the line. Sweeney on the loose puck. Leahy against the Kaiser.
Boy, it's not the mistake, it's the recovery, right? Danny looked like he was beat, but played positionally and did not allow him with that speed to get outside.
Another good low shot, sticked away there by Detroit. Knuble trying to center it. Simonelli looked like he got a piece of it. Now Wensick, 70 years young at the line, left it there, and Sweeney gets it in and around for Boston. Centering feed there. Wensick, good opportunity. Stopped by Detroit again.
Johnny O'Grodnik out there. Boy, could he snipe.
Oof.
Of course, Detroit Red Wing for many, many years. Went to Quebec, involved in one of the most memorable playoff series ever. In '87, he's talked to me about that many, many times. He was a legend here with Detroit. Came back and finished his career late here in Detroit in the early 90s.
Yep, 9 seasons in total with the Wings. 64 years old now. 4th rounder in '79 he was. Here's a good look to McCarty. Reggie Lemelin looking like Reggie Lemelin in the goal there, blocking that with a stick.
He's a feisty goaltender as well. He's a feisty forward right now.
Yeah, there's a shot that finds the back of the net. Cicerelli was there. Hatcher let it fly from the left point. And Detroit's within 1 with 10:24 to go. It's 7-6.
Oh, look at Dino beaming. This is a guy that scored 600 career goals, but he got down there. He scored a lot of the goals just like this. Take a look in front. Dino gets a piece of that, and legend from his junior days.
All right, with that said, let's get down to Meltdown with Darren Helm.
Here he is, the nightmare on Helm Street. Darren Helm, back in Detroit. You're a little bit mixed up with the gloves and the shirt, but, you know.
Yeah, I get to Colorado. They get rid of all my Red Wings gear, and I was lucky enough to find some pants, and here I am.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. 2 Stanley Cups, a great career. How's retirement treating you?
First off, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great career. Very happy with it. Retirement's been great. Been able to spend a lot of time with the family and just so far do some stuff that, middle of the, training camp doesn't allow me to do. Come out to events like this, and so far so good.
Now, let me ask you about something. One of my friends scored 1 goal in the NHL. I always tease him if he has the puck somewhere. When you see the Stanley Cup, do you always look for your name?
Yeah, I did.
I would too, right?
Of course, yeah. No, I don't think that feeling ever gets old. Like I said, I'm very proud of that accomplishment. It just kind of gives you goosebumps every time you get to see it and see your name on it, and brings back some good memories.
And to see your name on it with some true legends, especially the ones the ones you play with in Colorado are becoming legends, but the ones you won with in Detroit.
100%. There's legends that I played with in Detroit that were already established, and continue to be legends. And, I was very fortunate to play with some really skilled, talented players in Colorado that, they're just kind of starting their career, getting their names, etched into history. And so I'm very grateful, be part of two pretty awesome teams.
Well, congratulations on a great career, like I said, and thanks so much for doing this. And we'll see you at the after party, I suppose, right?
I will be there. Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Meltdown. The pride of St. Andrews, Manitoba, Darren Helm, 14 seasons with Detroit, and the last 2 with Colorado. So Dino Cicerelli's got it to a one-shot game here, Sean.
Couple of goals there, and that one was just an old-fashioned sniper. Shields showed him the 5-hole, and he said, thank you very much. And Shaw even came up to him and gave Dino a big hug as if to say, that was a heck of a snipe, Dino.
Still got it. Knuble trying to get it in the direction of Brent Fedek. Kindle hops on. He's manning the right point. Puck into the slot. Fedek off a body. Blum has no stick in front. Fedek couldn't get the trigger pulled on the shot. Now has it goal line, trying to bank one in off of Shields. Wings with good pressure here. Kindle to Fedek. Tees it up, and a flash of leather from Shields making the stop there with 8:17 to go in the period.
Well, you knew the Red Wings were going to bring it on, and the ice has been tilted for the last few minutes. We talked in the second period, Ben, about the Bruins and the puck control. I mean, they really were holding on to the puck forever. Red Wings have the ice tilted. Next one's a huge one, obviously, in a 7-7 game.
Ozone draw for Detroit. Off the stick there, knocked down by Knuble. Good read by him. Kindle gets free. Into space, flipped it over the goal. Had him beat, he was down, he flipped it right over the crossbar.
Sorry, Smoke.
Linsman takes a look. Gets a little bit of space. Ahead for LaRose. They're able to chip it inside of the Detroit end. Now Danny DeKeyser for Kindle. Couple of smooth skaters, both of them still are. DeKeyser to Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik wanted to go top of the crease there for Knuble. Albert's hustling over. He's had a really good game for Boston. Tangled up down there with DeKeyser. They separate. Back to it. Down the link. Dangerous pass there, but it'll find its way to John Ogrodnik. Drew Miller now. Miller gets a step. Patient. Still got it. Good stick there by Leahy to knock it out and force Detroit back out to center where they'll have to regroup.
The boys are moving a little bit.
Yep.
6:50 to go. Look at the speed, the pace picking up a little bit in a 7-7 game.
It certainly is. 6:45 remaining. Here we go now with Detroit. Larson, feed ahead for Fedek. Shields will play it away from the on-rushing Brent Fedek. Zombo let the Boston forward Sweeney get in there and around. Kept alive. Wensick gets in there and navigate the official and does so. Berensen's pass off the mark a little bit in the direction of Fedek. Boston will try to counter the other way. Sweeney centered it. Came free to Drew Miller. Try the exit on the right wing side. Leahy came down for Boston, though, and clogged that up.
Yeah, this line did a good job getting on the forecheck, creating some opportunities. Wensick, Sweeney, and Leahy.
Nienhaus comes out. He's been buzzing. Now Hodge inside of the zone. Leahy gave it back to Hodge. Larry Murphy stops it there. 5.5 to play and a 7-7 tie here. Craig Nienhaus takes a look. Ahead for Hodge. Now Lemelin looking back to Nienhaus. Couldn't handle it. Now Detroit 2-on-1 chance here. Carried inside of the zone. Boston gets one back. Kevin Miller's got it. Left it back and a good chance there. And Shields made the stop. Wings continue to try to put the heat on. Cicerelli freed the puck in the direction of Kevin Miller. Boston has it now. They'll head back the other way. Missing for that short little touch there to Niedhouse. Good centering attempt. Albert came down the slot. He has played really well. Been Boston's most active guy. Andrew Albert's the former BC Eagle. Detroit with 4.5 to go. Pinballed in back of the net. Smolinski lays it back. Kindle, a little pressure there. Helm sniffing around the puck too. Such a great part of his game and his career was the ability to forecheck and under the skin of the opposition and use his speed. Out in front, they look for Helm there, trying to get a stick on that. 50-50 puck. Mickey Redmond trying to get to it. Chad LaRose now. He turns on the speed a bit. Certainly, Meltdown, you're down there with us now. You're the analyst here because Sean had to head out of the building. How much have you noticed the speed here in the third increase?
Well, yeah, it seems like the bench has definitely shortened up a little bit. There's no doubt about that. A lot of the younger legs out here right now. But, yeah, tie game, yeah, you got to go for the victory, I suppose, right in your home ice.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how competitive all these guys are. They're former pro athletes, so.
Yeah, you may see some of these guys like Darren Helm just make a couple rushes that really shows you how fast they can be.
Yeah. Seen that out of Kindle, too. I've noticed him really stepping his game further up than he already had.
Yeah, he's been hopping. There he goes streaking through the center ice now.
Yeah.
Waiting for that outlet pass.
Yeah, Boston, little cherry pick. Boston, good pressure out of them. Just over 3 to play here in the third. David Shaw for Chad LaRose.
Kindle will skate sometimes after I play in the morning, and sometimes just by himself. He'll just go out there and skate like when he's getting ready for camp and whatnot.
Great
smooth skater.
Oh, so good. I said that earlier about he and DeKaiser. I mean, they were both just gifted skaters. Here they come now. It's carried in over the line by Helm. Back Knuble. Looks, fires on his former teammate at Michigan. And he's chirping Shields there. And this time the goalie wins that Michigan matchup. You see him right in there. Let's go back down to Meltdown.
I think I might have to do this interview by myself because Smokey is you're tired out. How many alumni teams could you play for, by the way?
8.
Okay.
This is the only team that wants me, though.
So Ben up in the booth was just talking about how the pace has picked up a little bit in the last few minutes, eh?
Well, they brought the young guns, and you can see that they're doing it well. Young, when we mean Kindle's still playing, a couple Hall of Famers, so we're not too shabby ourselves, but we have a lot of confidence on all 4 lines.
Now, do you play any other alumni games? I mean, I'm joking with you with the other 8 teams, but do you play with some of those guys?
I've done a few with LA, a couple with Ottawa. So yeah, it's not like there's no love. It's just a lot of fun. There's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody what you're doing now.
Well, I work for the National Hockey League now, so a lot of youth hockey. It's been a lot of fun. Been doing it for 6 years, and just happy to be part of the game still.
There you go. Smolinski, Smokey, my buddy.
Thanks, man. Hey, we scored!
Yes, sir.
Maybe that's because you were in here. That's why.
It's a good luck charm,
Brian
Meltdown.
Smolinski right here, yeah. Thanks, Smokey. I appreciate it.
So with 1:58 left here in the third, Boston takes the lead back. It's an 8-7 count here as the Bruins get it done in tight. Nifty little play there. And Boston with the go-ahead goal.
Uh-oh, here comes Drew. Look at him.
Al Peterson puts him ahead. Drew Miller trying to stick handle through, unable to do so.
I guess it goes without saying, but man, some of these guys are just monsters down here.
Oh, they're beasts, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, me being, vertically challenged and whatnot, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I had a coach tell me one time years and years and years ago, and I was just a little kid. He goes, they can't hit you if they can't catch you, and that's how I always played.
Low center of gravity, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Here comes Boston again. LaRose getting that goal to put the Bruins ahead 8-7. And they're sniffing around for more. Just over a minute to go here in regulation time.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to move Darian Hatcher off the puck over there in the corner.
Yeah, he's a sequoia tree, right?
Yeah, he's big.
Big and huge and just massive. Here's Knuble now. Under a minute to go.
All right, here comes the young guns now. Well, Dino's out there.
Yeah.
Dino's just going to plant himself in front of the net probably, right?
Yep. He tried to keep that in at the line.
He is built like a fire plug.
Yep. Still in great shape.
Yeah.
Saw him on the way into the rink here.
Such a great guy. It took him a long time to get into the Hall of Fame, but well-deserved, of course.
No question about it. Undrafted, 600-plus goals. Half a minute to go. Net empty. Craig Nienhuis.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
and
there's
Hatcher.
a couple trees going down like you were just talking about.
Yep, no call. They play on. 20 seconds to go now. Helm gains the line. Cicerelli trying to work it down there for Redmond. And Detroit back in behind the goal. Helm flipped it into the corner. 10 seconds to go now. DeKaiser jumps over. Back in behind the goal. Dino down there, hopped over his stick, trying to flip it in front. Chance there. Loose in the slot. Nienhuis got a stick on it. And that is it.
Ben, great working with you.
You too, Meltdown. Really enjoyed it, my friend. So the Boston Bruins, an 8-7 victory here in this alumni matchup. Steve Shields cleaned it up in the third in net. And Boston comes to town and takes the hockey game 8-7, all for great, great causes. Children's Miracle Network, Beaumont Hospital, Epilepsy of Kentucky, the Judson Center for Autism here in Metro Detroit, the Live, Learn, Enrichment Center in Novi and Northville. You can go to ghpastorfoundation.com. You can donate, you can help out. All the great causes that this game was put on for. There's an online auction currently going on, and the auction will be going on throughout the night. Team signed jerseys, player jerseys, all autographed. There's going to be all kinds of great memorabilia that will help go and support the GH Pastor Foundation. Again, ghpastorfoundation.com. So that's going to do it for our broadcast here today from Big Boy Arena here in Fraser, Michigan. The Boston Bruins, an 8-7 win. For all of our crew, executive producer Chad Bush, producer Alex Westfall, broadcast partners Sean Belegian and Meltdown, Ben Holden saying, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It was our pleasure to bring it to you, and we hope to do this again as the Detroit Red Wing alumni and the Boston Bruins got together and put on quite a show. Good day for all. Always good to be in the rink. Until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road on the Prep.